What's good? It's Woog. Pardon my voice. I'm getting over this week-long flu, so my voice is just coming back to me. But let's get into it. The rematch between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury takes place this Saturday. Deontay Wilder defending his WBC Heavyweight Champion. Tyson Fury still currently the Lineal Champion. He's the one who beat the last Lineal Champion, Vladimir Klitschko, to take that from him and has had it since Tyson Fury hasn't lost. So the general narrative on this fight is Tyson Fury by decision or Wilder by knockout, right? It's that Tyson Fury should be able to bag every round that he doesn't hit the canvas in. So for any round where there's very little activity, Tyson Fury should win that round because he's supposedly the better boxer than Deontay Wilder. I do believe he's the better boxer than Deontay Wilder, but I don't think all of the options here are really being considered. There are a couple other factors that are not truly being factored in. The biggest of which, I think, is the size difference between these two guys. Now, it's only a 2-inch height advantage for Tyson Fury. He's 6'9", Wilder's about 6'7". But when you look at their weights, Tyson Fury should go into this fight weighing 40 or more pounds more than Wilder. And why is that important? Well, since it's Wilder who has the atomic bomb of a right hand that knocked Tyson Fury down twice the first fight and has had him win almost all of the fights of his career by knockout, just because Wilder has the heavier knockout punch between the two doesn't mean that we need to negate or overlook the possibility that Fury really hurts Deontay Wilder. Wilder has shown to me that he's got a pretty durable chin. I mean, he was in there for several rounds against Chris Arreola, a heavy hitter. He went a full 12 the first time with Fury, and it's not like Fury never hit Wilder. I don't think Fury really put it on him where he was just knocking him around for the entire 12 rounds in every round that Wilder wasn't knocking him down. But he did hit Wilder with some punches. And then obviously Wilder surviving and winning both fights with Luis Ortiz by knockout. He got hurt in the first fight against Ortiz in the middle rounds where he barely escaped the round. He looked like he was out on his feet. And then he lost just about every round before the knockout in their second fight. So I'm saying all that to say Wilder does appear to have a heavyweight chin. But the heavyweight division is a little bit of an illusion in that in every other division, you've got increments of like 10 pounds or 7 pounds separating the weight classes. You go from 135 lightweight up 5 pounds to 140, that's a new weight class. Up 7 pounds, 147, that's another weight class. Up another 7 pounds to 154, that's another weight class. Up 6 pounds to 160, that's another weight class. Whereas in heavyweight, you've got a gulf. You got this range of about 50 to 60 pounds where you can have a light heavyweight, not a light heavyweight as in Sergey Kovalev's weight class, Adonis Stevenson's weight class of the 175-pound limit, but I mean lighter heavyweights. Mike Tyson in his prime was a lighter heavyweight. Evander Holyfield, through most of his career, was a lighter heavyweight. Deontay Wilder is a lighter heavyweight. Yes, we have seen him up towards 220 or even 225. But compare that to Anthony Joshua, who's usually more like 245, or Tyson Fury, who was almost 260 the first time he fought Wilder. Have you ever fought somebody 40 pounds heavier than you? Regardless of what you hit them with, when you're getting hit by them, or even if you guys are just roughhousing and wrestling somebody 40 pounds heavier than you, you feel every second of that. Because either during the transitional moments where you guys are scrambling to try to get superior position, or during the slow periods where, say, you took down the bigger fighter, you took down the bigger guy. Now you've got to hold him down, and he's 40 pounds heavier than you. That can be very exhausting. Or if they took you down and they're just staying on top of you, to reverse that and to get away from the guy who's 40 pounds heavier than you is exhausting. Well, in boxing, you're not getting the same wrestling dynamic, but we have seen cases of Tyson Fury putting his weight on another fighter. He did it in his very last fight against Otto Wallin after receiving that monstrous cut over his eye. Well, Wallin, weight-wise, is bigger than Wilder. He also did it against Derek Chisora in their second fight before knocking out Chisora, coming forward and basically closing the distance, making it an in-close phone booth style fight with Chisora, who is bigger weight-wise than Deontay Wilder. So Tyson Fury recently changed trainers. He'd been going through Ben Davison through a lot of his career, and now he's switching it up, and he's going with Sugar Hill Stewart, the son of the great Emmanuel Stewart. Sugar Hill has trained Adonis Stevenson and others. You see Sugar Hill in a lot of people's corners. He is the new leader of the post-Emmanuel Stewart Kronk Gym. So you look at the history of the Kronk Gym's greatest fighters. Look at Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Look at Lennox Lewis. Look at Vladimir Klitschko. These are guys who sat down on their right hands, right? Generated a lot of power. Look at Adonis Stevenson's left hand, how much he sat down on that punch and how many people he got out of there. Well, you've got Tyson Fury, who I think hits harder than he'll hit in a lot of his fights because he's not sitting down on all of his punches. Well, if he decides to sit down on some of his punches, one, that's a scary proposition when you're fighting Deontay Wilder, who will knock you out if he hits you flush with his right hand, especially if he's able to get the extension on it. But how many fighters have we really seen move Wilder back and try to get up on Deontay Wilder's chest, fighting him in very close quarters? Is Tyson Fury going to employ the same strategy that he did the first fight and just hope that he could do it for the entire 12 rounds and not get knocked down multiple times or knocked out? Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, move, stay out of Wilder's range, move your head enough to where you're not a sitting target for Wilder? Or might we see Fury actually make good on his pre-game prediction in that he wants to knock Wilder out? Is he going to actually bring the fight to Wilder, close the distance on him, get inside of Wilder's reach where we're not used to seeing Wilder throw a bunch of uppercuts and shorten his punches in the same way that we've seen Anthony Joshua shorten his punches against Alexander Povetkin when they fought in Anthony Joshua's DAZN debut a little over a year ago. Joshua can shorten his punches. I haven't seen the same thing from Deontay Wilder. So is it possible that the taller Tyson Fury actually makes this a phone booth fight and closes the distance? Again, it's high risk as long as you are in that extended punching range of Wilder. Anywhere else, you might be okay, right? And I'm suggesting this because I don't think that first strategy would win this second time around for Fury. I don't think that he could box a perfect 12 rounds and not get drilled by Wilder to where he's badly hurt or knocked out. I think Wilder's gotten a little bit wiser. He's fought twice since that Fury fight. Fury's also fought twice since the first Wilder fight. The second cut was at war with Wallin, where he slashed his eye open and was forced to fight that phone booth style fight because they could have stopped that fight because of the cut at any moment. So there was a sense of urgency forcing Fury to fight that ugly, gritty phone booth style fight. Well, again, I don't think that Fury will be able to hang around the perimeter and stay out of harm's way, because I think that Wilder's got a few tricks up his sleeve that he's developed. One of those is the way that he finished Luis Ortiz, where instead of throwing the jab, he had thrown the jab a few times, several times before. He was losing almost every round. So Wilder throws the jab, but instead of throwing the fully extended jab, he stops halfway, pulls it back. So Ortiz's timing, saying, okay, jab, right hand, jab, right hand, or in this case, jab, right hand, being able to time, knowing what time the right hand's coming, because you've blocked the jab or you've timed the jab. Well, what happens when he doesn't fully extend that jab and he brings it back prematurely and already starts deploying the deadly right hand? Well, the jig is up. You just got caught because you expected a certain rhythm, jab, right hand. But in this case, it was half jab, right hand. His hand didn't make it up enough to guard himself, and Wilder closed the show with that right hand. Beautifully set up. He's got little tricks like that. Or he's got this other trick where he will probe with the jab, but he won't extend his hand with the jab. So he'll put it out maybe 60-70% length, and he'll kind of lull the opponent into thinking, if I'm outside of the range of this jab that he's probing with, I'm okay. I must be outside of the range of this right hand. Well, they don't know that he's only putting it out 70%, and that when he finally comes with the right hand, that the jab is only out this far. Well, when he throws a right, it's out another several inches further than what the jab was. So joke's on you. You were not outside of the range of that right hand, even though you were outside of the range of that little probing, playful jab hand. So again, Wilder's been using these different tricks in deploying and setting up the right hand. I don't think that Tyson Fury is going to successfully box at distance and not get hit, not get drilled by one of those right hands. So one channel that I watch a whole lot of is Richard Dwyer's boxing channel here on YouTube. It's my favorite boxing channel. There are others that I really like. I like watching Teddy Atlas, Morning Combat, that's Brian Campbell and Luke Thomas. They talk mostly MMA, but they do talk a good amount of boxing as well. But Richard Dwyer is bullish and is going heavy on the Tyson Fury side of the play. I just don't think that Tyson Fury is going to be able to pitch a shutout and go 12 rounds at distance without getting blasted by Wilder's right hand. So I'm raising the question, and Dwyer also suggested this possibility: what if Tyson Fury fights this fight, not in totality, but picks his spots to get on his front foot and to stress Wilder out? Because again, Tyson Fury is going to be should be about 40 pounds heavier than Wilder. If the bigger guy, the heavier guy, is putting the weight and the pressure on the guy with the skinny legs and is letting his hands go to the body and up top, can Wilder sustain that type of an onslaught? Does he have the legs to take Tyson Fury's punches over 12 rounds if Fury is trying to make Wilder's life hell and isn't simply just surviving on the outside? What happens if Tyson Fury flips the script and takes the fight to Wilder? Is Wilder even expecting that in his preparation for this fight, or is he strategizing for, how do I make sure that Tyson Fury doesn't fight a perfect fight, a perfect long-range fight against me? Is Wilder really also preparing for, what if Tyson Fury gets aggressive, comes forward, and closes the distance on me? I don't think that he's preparing for that, and I think that Camp Tyson Fury might be preparing to do just that. And that can make the fight very, very interesting. Just one thing that I'm considering. Thank you for watching this video and for tolerating my sick voice. I'm going to be back hopefully with another video before the fight takes place. But let me know your thoughts on this theory, Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Also, check out Richard Dwyer's videos on Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Very interesting stuff. Shout out to Dwyer. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.